Hey, welcome back to Delectable You, recipes for food and for life. Today we are making a French Canadian lentil soup. I don't know why it's a French Canadian lentil soup. I think it's because I adapted the recipe from a split pea soup that I got from a feature in a cooking magazine about French Canadian cooking, and the title just stuck. So I like it. Let's just go with it, and let me show you what to do. Okay, so I've got my favorite soup pot right here, and I've got 6 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil that has been heating up on low heat, and we're gonna add some fun things. So we've got, this is a leek that I've chopped up. It's 1 leek, the white part only. Okay, now I've got 1 small to medium-sized yellow onion that I've diced up, small dice. I've chopped everything for the soup super small because I think it works better that way, but if you like chunkier soups, then you can make your dices a little bigger. And now we've got some fennel. So I took a fennel bulb. This one was particularly big, but I would say like a medium-sized bulb of fennel, and chop that up small dice as well. Okay, and we're gonna add some bay leaves already. So we're gonna grab 4 bay leaves. 3, and, well, that's a double one, so that ended up being 5, but 4, okay? Now let's toss this all around. We just wanna saute this up until it is nice and translucent. Oh my gosh, the smell of onions and leeks and fennel together with the bay leaves is intoxicating. And I can't wait for you to make this yourself. So I've turned the heat up a little bit so that we can get the party rolling a little bit. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add some carrots. This is 3 carrots that I've chopped up, again, small dice. And we're gonna add some celery. This is 3 stalks of celery that I've chopped up, small dice. Okay, put those in there, and we're gonna toss this all around, and we're gonna add a little bit more in terms of spices. The first spice we're gonna add to this party is we're gonna add 4 teaspoons of garlic powder. Boom. Next, we're gonna add a teaspoon of dried oregano. Then we're gonna add a teaspoon of turmeric. This is really good for inflammation. Teaspoon, a little bit more. Just watch it because it stains, okay? Watch your hands after you deal with turmeric. Next, we're gonna add a half a teaspoon of black pepper. There we go. And incidentally, when pepper and turmeric are together, it helps the properties, the anti-inflammatory properties of turmeric come out. So this is good if you've got arthritis or any kind of inflammatory thing going on in your body. All right, finally, we're gonna add a teaspoon of salt. This is Himalayan pink sea salt. Go. Now you don't want to add too much salt at the beginning, especially when you're making a soup that's going to reduce down a little bit, because once the soup reduces down, it gets saltier and saltier. So you can always add salt at the end, but just start with a teaspoon, okay? Now toss this all around, and we're going to let the carrots and the celery and the spices saute together. We're going to let the flavors meld together, and we're going to let the carrots and celery soften up a little bit. Should take about 5 minutes. All right, we've added all the spices and the celery and the carrots, and oh my gosh, it smells so good. So what I've done is I've turned up the heat because I want to create some browning on the bottom, because there is so much flavor when you create that caramelization. And what I'm gonna do is, and if you don't drink, this is not a big deal, we're gonna add wine. The alcohol gets cooked out. So what we want is the flavor of the white wine. Any wine will do. And on medium high to high heat, we're gonna put a cup of wine in here, and what it's gonna do is sizzle and collect all of the brown bits on the bottom. Whoa, yes. So just toss this around. And then if you have it on hand, oh, it has such a unique flavor that it adds to the soup. I love it. So if you want to add some more uniqueness to the soup, you can put a little bit of nutritional yeast in here. I'm just going to put about a tablespoon. Okay, if you don't have it or you don't like it, you can leave it out. I sometimes have made the soup and I didn't have any on hand and I left it out and it was totally fine. So on high heat, just keep tossing this around a little bit and let the wine kind of evaporate. Okay, and as it's doing that, we're going to add red lentils to the party. I've got a pound of red lentils that I have rinsed off and strained. Just gonna add those in there. Boop. Okay, let's toss this all around. I like the lentils to go in before I put the water in, which we're gonna do in a minute, because I like them to saute a little bit around with all of these characters in here. So just toss this around. Oh my God, it's making me so hungry already. Okay, the wine is evaporated. So now all we're gonna do, we're gonna put the heat on high if it's not already, and we're gonna add 5 cups of water. There's 4 and 5. And then we're just going to let this cook for about 20 minutes or until the lentils are nice and tender. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes, and I think because I added a little bit of extra fennel, I ended up adding another 2 cups of water just because it was a little too thick for me. So feel free to do that. If you're nearing the end and you're like, oh, it's kind of more like a stew than a soup and I want it to be more soup-like, then just add some more water. It's no problem. But look at that. Oh, the lentils are cooked. The veggies are cooked as well. Everything's cooked. Look what happens when you put things in a pot with some water. It smells delicious. It tastes delicious. It's super healthy. We did it in one pot and it took us about half an hour. So that's kind of a home run as far as a meal is concerned. I hope that you enjoy it as much as I do, and I look forward to seeing you here again next time. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been Lauren with Delectable You. I hope that you enjoy your soup.